All right, so let's take a look at this DBChat app and see just what this can do. So this app enables you to use natural language to query a relational SQL database, and that could be SQL Server, that could be MySQL. It doesn't matter as long as it's that type of database. So just for some context, I have a database loaded into Azure with a bunch of sample data, and this database includes common tables like customers, orders, products, regions, things like that. This just gives us a complex enough schema to actually be able to play around with this in our app. So let's see just exactly what this app can do. So let's start with something simple. So I'm going to say retrieve all of the products. So this will go out to our database and the AI is going to figure out what we're asking for. And then it generates this nice table for us. So if we scroll through here, sure enough, we have all of our products and we didn't have to write any SQL queries at all. And there's plenty of tables to mess around with here. So I'll say retrieve all of the product categories since each of these lives in a category. And you can see we have 8 different categories. So this is great, but at this point, we're basically just retrieving tables, but this app can do so much more than that. So if I were to say retrieve all of the products in the beverages category, now let's see what the app comes up with. So all of that data loads in, and you can see they're all in category 1, which was our beverages. Now over on the left here, you can see it's also saving all of our history. So if we were to just jump back to retrieve all of the products, that'll load in just fine, and we've got our products back. Now let's keep going further and see what else this app could do. So I could say, get all of the customers who live in Germany. So we've definitely got filter going here. There's a lot of different things this can do. We'll see in a moment. But after that loads, sure enough, all of the country names are Germany for this query. And here's all of our customers who live in Germany. But let's go even further. So maybe we're interested in what they bought. So we could say who live in Germany and placed an order in May of 1998. So we're going back a ways, but let's just see what it comes up with here. So I'll submit this. And sure enough, there were 2 customers who placed orders in 1998. Now, the only issue with this is that right now we can see our customer info, but we don't see our order data. But that's fine. We can just tell the AI to include the order data. We want everything in this query. We want to see what's going on here. And there we have it. There's our 2 orders again. But now if we scroll over here, we also have the order data for those customers. Obviously, this table needs some formatting, but you can actually tell the query to include more information if you want it. So there's our order history. Now, I want to take a moment to point out a couple things here. So we have our AI-generated summary, and this is basically telling us what the AI's understanding of our task is, and this usually lines up pretty close to our actual query. But the more interesting part is this AI-generated query. This will actually tell you what SQL this AI came up with to retrieve this data. And this is valuable for a number of reasons. You could use this query to build off of and tweak yourself. You could actually just use this tool, even if you're a developer, to just write your SQL queries for you, and then you can adjust them as needed. But I also want to highlight that this is actually a fairly advanced query. So we have a join here, we have a where clause, we have some filtering. This actually supports multiple levels of joins. So if you have to join 3 or 4 tables, it can still do that. And I also want to call out that this can do math. So if we were to say calculate the total price of the orders placed in 1998, so here we're not even telling it to get data, we're just telling it to calculate a price for something that we wanted to look into. And sure enough, there's our total price here. It says it was 440,000, but this is kind of ugly. I don't like this decimal number for a currency. So we could say round to the nearest dollar and format as currency. And sure enough, this is going to bring back the same result, but it's going to be nicely formatted as a dollar. There we are. There's our 440,000. That was a good month. And again, this SQL query is actually pretty sophisticated. So this is doing formatting, this is doing joins, this is doing filtering. It should be able to handle almost anything you throw at it. And again, our history is collecting here on the left. So we can always just retrieve a past query if we want to look at that data again. I think it's a cool app, and I'm excited to see where it goes.